He really likes that shell. He has claimed it as his own, I think. Hey, Pumpkin! Oh, now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel, Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Tandra, and today we're going to do a Tarot Pick-a-Pile card reading. And this is just going to be a general reading on the next 2 weeks, what you can expect. We're going to have 4 different piles that you can choose from. If you're not familiar with pick-a-pile readings, basically you just pick whichever pile you are most drawn to, the one that sucks you in, basically. And you go to that reading and you watch it, and hopefully you get some really great insights. Okay, and we're going to put timestamps in the description so that you can go to the pile that you choose. We have pile 1 here, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Each of the piles have different shells on top. They're a little hard to describe, so I'm not going to be able to do that very well. But we do have one that has lighter color stripes and it's kind of a rounded shell. We have a spiky shell with dark and white stripes. We have a round shell that has lighter dots on it. And then we have a larger stripy shell that is a little bit more, I'm not even sure exactly what shell this is for, but it's got the spirals on the end and all that. Okay, so couldn't describe those really well, but they are really pretty shells, and I thought they were nice, so I thought they'd be neat for the next 2 weeks. Okay, and so we're going to give you a moment or two to reflect on the piles here, and then you can go to whichever pile that you're most drawn to. Right before I do that, though, I just wanted to remind you guys that if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, it would be great if you did so, and if you hit the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos when we put them out. Also, if you hit the like button and share with your friends and family and leave comments in the comment section, all of those things help the channel grow. We are very small right now on YouTube, and we're trying to get bigger, and that would really help us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. So once you see your reading, if you feel compelled to do any of those things or all of those things, that would be awesome. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a link in the description to PayPal that you can do that with, and we'll see you at your reading. Hello, Pile 1, and welcome to your reading. And remember, this is going to be on the next 2 weeks, what you can expect and the general energies and that kind of thing. And those of you that chose the shell that has a lighter color stripes on it, it's a really pretty shell. All right, so let's see what we have here today. We've got the Justice card, the Four of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Nine of Wands. Move these up a little bit so they can be seen. And the Ace of Swords and the Death card. Okay. Let's take a look here and see what we've got going here. Okay, we have some, I want to put the swords cards together here. We have quite a bit of wands. Okay. During the next 2 weeks, I see some kind of change coming, but I don't think it's going to be a major change. I think it's just going to be something's going to change in your life. It's going to make a difference. You're going to change things up. Things are the way you do something, or the way you look at something, that kind of change. It's not going to be a huge life-altering, drastic kind of change, but it's going to be something's going to be different. Like I said, the way you look at things, the way you handle things, your environment. I'm not even sure the kinds of energies I'm thinking of here, but basically it's going to be, I think a lot of it's going to be just the way you look at things more than anything else. That's the kind of the way it seems to me, the way the energies are flowing here. It's interesting, this death card here, in this deck that we have, the fortune telling card deck, is interesting because he has a land, the time turner hourglass that he has here. It's just starting out. It's like he's just turned it over. So it's almost like, okay, something's ending, but okay, time for a new start now. You've got all the beginnings of time going on here. So even though something's coming to an end, we have a time for the new beginning now, because we do have the Ace of Swords, which is a wonderful new beginning card too. All the aces are great beginning cards. Also with the owls on top of here, with this particular card, I kind of see there being some wisdom involved. And look, you know, he's sitting here kind of meditating and getting some wisdom. So this is why I think it has a lot to do with your perspective on things. Like, I think you're going to basically get an epiphany or come up with a new idea, a new way of doing things, or your perspective on life is going to change, or, you know, that kind of thing. It's going to be where your old way of looking at things is going to change about something. And maybe about several things, but about something in specific, more than likely. I'm not sure what specifically yet. We might get some messages here for some of you to help with that. We do have the Two of Swords card, which shows a stalemate. And maybe there's been this energy of you've been kind of in this stalemate, either in a relationship, or you've just been stuck, like in a job, or, you know, you have one idea, somebody else has another idea, or you've just been kind of just in a steady holding pattern. You've not really been moving forward. You've been kind of stuck in place. Okay, that's kind of where the stalemate comes in. But I see new ideas coming up here. We have wonderful wands energies here. We have the 6 and the 9, the Page and the King of Wands. And the Wands cards are wonderful creativity and impulsive nature and your spirit and your passions and things that you care about and messages from spirit. And we have the 6 here, which, you know, he's coming back, you know, with his laurels and his wreath from victory. And so I almost see, you know, wonderful, you know, creativity there. And look, we've got the 9. Look how creative he is, coming up with a way to solve this problem of having these crows here in his field and causing him issues. He's been able to come up with a creative idea. Now, granted, scarecrows have been around for a long time, but if you look at this card, they may not have been around that long, but it's a creative idea. If you think about it, scarecrows are a creative idea to solve that problem of, you know, okay, I've got a problem here. Crows are coming to my field. They're eating the corn. They're not doing so good. I need to find a way to get rid of them. Hey, wait, they tend to want to fly away when they think there's a man around. Let me make a man to leave here, because I can't leave a man out in the field all the time. So it's a creative idea to come up with to solve a problem. And I think that might be something that you guys are going to be able to do in the next 2 weeks, is come up with a new idea, because it goes along with your new perspective and your changing the ways that you think about things. And I think that that's kind of where you're going to have some really cool creative ideas over the next 2 weeks, or a new way of dealing with situations or problems or stalemates. You're going to, like, let's say you have a problem in your relationship, and you guys are at a stalemate a lot of times, like you've been arguing or you've been fighting and nobody's really making any progress. Maybe now you'll come up with a new idea. You're going to look at things a little differently, and you're going to be able to solve that problem because you're going to be able to flip it on its head and change it around and go, oh, if I do this, new idea, new fix it. Because we also have the Page and the King of Wands, which are really awesome energies here. Hello, baby boy. Oh, my little kitten has decided to join us again for the readings. He's been wanting to do that a lot lately. Hello. Hi there, Marty. You got some messages here? He likes the shells that I've been putting on here. You keep trying to knock them off earlier. And there went that one. Okay. Hey, baby. Okay, so we have the Page and the King of Wands. And because the Wands cards are so much full of passions and energies, these guys are full of adventure and have vision, and they can see the big picture, and they have daring decisions and things like that. And so I think a lot of that has to do with, well, he has decided he likes that shell. I'm going to have to get it from him later. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So because of the Page and the King, both, wanting that adventure, the excitement, new ideas, are fearless. Okay, you already took the shell. What else do you want, baby? Okay, and because of that, they are just full of ideas, able to go out and do new things. And okay, hey guys, we're back. Sorry about that. He might come back again, but he's kind of in a mood at the moment. He's wanting to help out with the readings, but he kind of lays across all the cards, then we can't see what we're doing. Okay, so we got Page of Wands and King of Wands here. And as I was saying earlier, they're very passionate cards. They're very full of creativity, courage, adventure, excitement, new ideas. They're fearless. They have vision. They can see the big picture. They're in control. And I kind of see that that's kind of the theme for the next 2 weeks for you guys, is you're going to be pulling into this Wands energy. You're going to have all of that excitement and energy and be able to, change things up. Like I said, your ideas are going to change. You're going to have new ideas flowing to you. You're going to be able to break out of a stalemate that you've been kind of in, or just a holding pattern that you've been in, whatever that pertains to. We do have the Four of Pentacles and the Justice card here. And this Four of Pentacles is really quite a beautiful card. Instead of the hoarding energy that the Four of Pentacles normally would impart, this one to me is more like I've collected all of this, and look, she has the key here, and I'm going to be able to harvest that now, or bury it. But it almost looks, you can't see it, but it almost looks like maybe she dug it up out here, and so she could be putting it away for later, which, okay, the Four of Pentacles does have that energy, but she also just, I almost see it as, she's been carefully saving. She's, she's got what, she's been able to build up her her wealth and some things, and now she's able to lock them away and keep them safe. And so I feel like with this Four of Pentacles, I think the energy for the next 2 weeks might be a little bit of being a little bit conservative with your money, just a little bit. Don't go out, and blowing it wildly, because I'm thinking that that's probably not the right thing, because you're going to have all this excitement going on with the Wands cards. You're going to have all these new ideas and new crazy things come into your head, but we don't want you running out and just, spending things crazy like. You might actually have some stuff saved up for some ideas that you've been coming with, so it's okay to spend some money if you need to. Just don't go out wildly abandoning spending money just like crazy without thinking it through first, though, because that's probably not a good energy for the next 2 weeks. And part of that also is seen in the Justice card here, because the Justice is one of the most balanced cards in the deck. There's a few cards that show balance, and this is one of them. And so I think that that is kind of something you need for the next 2 weeks, is balance. We have the stalemate, which also could be a balance card in a way, because, no one side is winning. But in this case, I just see it as you are going to have a lot of ideas running through your head and a lot of things coming through, a lot of new creative energies and a lot of new things happening. And because of that, it's important to keep your self in perspective and balance. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys. That basically you are going to have a lot of new ideas coming to you, a lot of creative energies, a lot of just, stuff popping in. And because of that, it's important not to go too wild with those, or just, run off half-cocked. It's a good idea to stay in balance with those. And that is where I think the 2 weeks is kind of going, and that's the Four of Pentacles energy too, is, don't go too far to one side or the other. Yes, you're going to have some wonderful creative ideas, some wonderful new ways of looking at things, and that's great, and that's a wonderful energy, and I'm really excited for you guys. I think that that's wonderful that you're going to be able to look at things from a new perspective and be able to go on and do new things, but it's a good idea not to run too crazy with that. Because we do have the Page and the King. The Page is a lot more youthful, energetic energy, and then we have the King, which is a lot more wisdom. And so once again, we have that balanced energy again. We have the youthful energy and optimism and adventure and all that, and then we have the older, wiser leadership, can see, they're in control. They do have daring decisions, and they are bold, but they don't just run off without, any idea of what's going on. So once again, you have that balance of the 2 weeks, and that's going to be kind of the theme of the 2 weeks, is balancing those two things. It's going to be kind of a balancing act a little bit, of not letting one energy get too far ahead of the other. Kind of make sure that, I guess it's kind of the warning of the 2 weeks, is make sure that with all these new exciting ideas and other, breaking your logjam kind of energies going on, that you don't, rush and flow too crazy to one side. We like to look at some charms here, see if we have any other messages that might go along with this here, or anything else. Well, a key just flew out, which it's interesting how we had a key on that other card too. They look very similar too, which is cool. Ooh, lots of charms this time. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Now we have a couple of cards here. Let's go ahead and look at those. We got the Eight of Spades, which is a Swords card, and a Jack of Diamonds, which is a Pentacle card. That's nice because the Pentacles, it's interesting how the Pentacles deal a lot with your wealth and other things, and we had the Four of Pentacles earlier. The Jack is kind of the Knight, or the Page, could be either one. And that's where you get the practical, reliable, efficient, patient, these other kinds of energies there. So I kind of see that kind of balancing out the Page of Wands here. So once again, it's a more balanced energy. And we do have the Eight of Swords, which generally the Swords cards deals sometimes with things that are going on in our head, and the Eight sometimes can be kind of a worrisome kind of card, or things that we're worried about. So maybe some things have been on your mind a lot lately, and that's where the new perspective is going to come in. But I also kind of see it too as the Swords card deals a lot with our knowledge and our ideas and stuff, and so I just think that that also has to do with how we're going to have you're going to have a lot of new ideas over the next 2 weeks, and new ways of looking at things. Okay, let's look at our letters here and see if we can make any sense out of those. We have more than normal, which is good. Okay, we got an L-E-R-Y and a W. Okay. There's no A there, but I kind of see leery and weary is both words, and yearn almost. If we turn the W into an N, which is a little hard to do. So I don't know. Those might mean something specific to you guys. You guys might be able to come up with some cool words. If you do, put them in the description. Might help some other people out with some words. But those might be specific messages for some of you specifically. We also have the word beautiful and the glamorous shoe here, which I kind of like. We also have the comb. So I almost see, oh wait, we also had a J too. Didn't see the J. Okay. With these kind of things here, with the beautiful, the shoe, and the comb, I kind of almost see maybe you've been kind of sitting around, you know, in your night clothes or in sweats or something else, and maybe you're going to have a reason or an idea to maybe get kind of dressed up and, you know, feel your best, groom yourself really good, look really beautiful, make yourself feel really beautiful, because that might change your perspective too, because that's something I've noticed, that sometimes if we kind of get in a bogged down, like I said, where we've kind of been on the couch and you know, maybe curled up with a blanket and not getting dressed, doing those things maybe for a day as kind of a treat is good. But if we get into a pattern of that for a while, because maybe we're depressed, or maybe we don't have anything better to do, or we just aren't really motivated, or like I said, you've been in a holding pattern. So if you've got that kind of energy going on, sometimes it's hard to, we get into that mode and then we don't feel very good. We just don't feel, we just don't feel energetic sometimes. It almost saps our energy out of us. I remember a story when I was a little girl. One day, it was a Saturday and I was home and I did not want to get up and get dressed. I told my mom, I said, I just want to stay in my jammies today. And she didn't say much. She was like, well, okay, whatever. And I did that all day. Stayed in my nightgown and, you know, didn't do much throughout the day. Of course, I didn't go outside. I didn't do anything else. You know, I ate a little bit, watched TV, did whatever. But that was it. That's all I did. And I remember saying at the end of the day, I turned to my mom and I said, you know, I don't feel really good. I don't, you know, I almost feel kind of dirty or like I, you know, not fresh kind of thing. And she just kind of nodded. She went, yeah. And she kind of knew that I would feel that way because I didn't do anything all day. And the longer that went on, I didn't have any new ideas come to me. I didn't do anything, you know, interesting or fun. And it was just kind of a lazy day. And like I said, once in a while, we kind of need that recuperation time. Or if we're sick, sometimes we, you know, need to do that. But other than that, it's not good to get in that pattern. And so I think one of the things that might help you come up with new ideas or see things from a new perspective is to, you know, make yourself feel beautiful. You know, wear, you know, something you haven't worn in a long time, get dressed up, style your hair different, do something and just make yourself feel good. Because if we feel good on the outside, it helps us feel better on the inside as well. And that might just help it fill up on us head. Because we also have the words imagine and enough. So I see enough as it's enough of being in the pattern you've been in. Okay, it's time for that to end. The death card, time to go away. And then we also have imagine, and the wands cards are full of your imagination and your creativity. And so I really feel like the next 2 weeks is a time for you to imagine. Okay, and then we also have the skull and crossbones and the snake. And both of those energies can be ones of, the snake is full of knowledge, okay? And that goes along with the swords card too. The skull and crossbones are just kind of a warning symbol a lot of times of, you know, hazards that have been going on. And I just kind of see that too, going along with the balanced energy we were talking about, of just being cautious over the next 2 weeks of not, you know, going too crazy one way or another way. Then we have this one here. It says, after all this time, always. Okay, so that usually to me is a message sometimes from a loved one or whatever, that even after they've been with you all this time, or even though you've been together for such a long time, or it could be a parent or something else, but that they're always going to be there and be with you. And that's kind of just that message. And I think that that's just for some of you specifically, and you'll know who you are. And then what's for you will not pass you by. So just kind of know that. That's a nice little message to know that you can dream and you can imagine, because if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And then we have love and peace, which is just kind of a nice little, once again, balanced energy. I see love and peace as being a very balanced kind of thing. They're almost the same thing in of themselves, but they bring balance back to things. A lot of times love and peace will. And then we also have the key, which I mentioned earlier. She had the key to her finances. And I think for some of you guys, this does have to do with your finances a little bit. And just know that, you have the key to increase your finances and to be able to have some money to put away for a rainy day or whatever, because I kind of see that in this card here as well. Okay, that's all I have for pile 1 today. I hope there was some interesting messages and some useful things for you here. Remember to give the video a thumbs up and to leave comments in the comment section, and check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of other Tarot Pick a Pile card readings. Most of them are timeless. We also have videos on how to read tarot cards, and we have different flip through a different set so you can see what the different sets look like. And we have all that available to you, as well as a few other videos on some other spiritual topics that might interest you. And so we'll see you again in future readings. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the spiky shell with the brown and white stripes. Okay, remember this is on the next 2 weeks. This is the general energies, things that might happen, that kind of thing, for coming up in the next 2 weeks. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you come across this video is when it should apply. So we have the Knight of Wands, the Strength card, the Nine of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Princess of Cups, the Hierophant, the Knight of Cups, and House. Okay, let me just think about this for just a second. Actually, there's a lot of the same energies that was in pile 1. So if you were drawn to that pile for whatever reason, you might want to go back and watch that one too, because there may be some messages in there for you as well. Because there are some of the same energies. There's some slightly different things as well. Okay. One of the things we have here is we have 3 knights. We have the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. And the knights are all about charging into things, being assertive, direct, courageous, energetic, charming, graceful, reliable. They have all of those kinds of spirits involved with them. They all are slightly different because of their different suits, but they all have that kind of spirit of being able to go out, either charge into battle or being reliable, that they can come back with the spoils of war. With the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, those are both, very much charge into battle kind of energies. And then, of course, we have the Knight of Cups, which is a little bit more, hey, we got everything, yay, I'm going to come back and bring back the spoils of war. A little bit more down to earth and settled kind of energy there, more steady, hardworking. And I kind of feel like the same energies as the first pile, in that there might be some new ideas new things coming to you. The Nine of Wands kind of shows that, as well as these Knight cards. Because the Wands cards are all about our passions and our spirit and our fire and things that we really, really care about. But this Nine of Wands has slightly different energy to it. So even though you guys might have some new ideas coming to you over the next couple of weeks, and you might even get kind of fired up about something, you know, kind of shown by the Knights here, because we also have the Princess of Cups here too, which is basically the Page. But we have all that kind of youthful excitement kind of energy going on, and I think that there might be some of that happening, because we also have the Ace of Cups, which is usually new. Aces are all about newness and new adventures, and the Cups card especially deals a lot with abundance and those kinds of things too. And we also have the Pentacle card that might show some of that. But what I kind of see here with this Nine of Wands, this particular Nine of Wands, is instead of that fiery, passionate charge out their energy, is, you know, he's darn near completed his work here, and he's kind of sitting here almost contemplating things. So I almost feel like, yeah, you guys might start getting some new ideas, some new things coming into your head that you hadn't thought of before, and all that happening. But I also think that, sorry about that, that even though you're going to have that, you might also have a lot of contemplative energy throughout the next 2 weeks as well. Because we do have the House card, which kind of shows almost being at home and kind of contemplating things again. Once again, you know, home is your sanctuary. You know, be time to contemplate things, think things through, think things over. Because we also have the Four of Pentacles, which is kind of a holding steady energy with as far as finances and things go, as in don't run out and spend a bunch of money. That's kind of the advice we have for Pile 1 as well. Don't run out and charge a bunch of money or spend a bunch of money wildly, because this isn't the 2 weeks for that. That would probably not suit you very well. I see this as more of a relaxing 2 weeks, more of a calming, settling things down. That, yeah, you're gonna have some new ideas, or maybe you have had some new ideas recently. Maybe, I think that's probably more of the energy, as you've had a lot of new ideas recently, and you're excited about them and you wanted to go out and charge into it, but you're kind of needing the contemplation energy first. You need some advice. We have the Hierophant card here. Maybe you need some advice on what to do next or how to go about it next. We have the Strength card, which, you know, it shows that wonderful companionship, friendship, but it's that more settled energy, that more, you know, it's not the running out, fighting, overpowering things energy. It's the calm, serene, you know, loving kind of energy. And so, and the Nine of Wands here was like that as well. So I'm thinking that for you guys specifically that chose this pile, that this 2 weeks, especially with this Princess of Cups here too, where she's just sitting here kind of, she's smelling the flowers, she's kind of relaxing. She might be waiting for somebody to come, but more, she's just kind of enjoying herself outside and enjoying nature. So even though we have all this wonderful, youthful, powerful energies, it's almost like this is a time to kind of reflect on those ideas. This is a time to get some advice, not go out charging into things too quickly, like these Knights can do. Use the power of the Knights. They're not the Queens and Kings, so they don't have the wisdom yet, but they do have a lot of power behind them, I guess. So with that power, a lot of times power, we need to learn to have restraint, because if a knight just went out into battle without forethought or without a plan or without anything to go off of, it would be very disastrous. Okay? And so knights, even though they're very assertive and ambitious and they have a lot of that, they're also diligent. They know when it's time to fight. They can go out and do that when it's needed. And so I feel like whatever new ideas are coming into your head right now, or have been coming into your head the last week or so, like just you start out these 2 weeks and you just got a lot of stuff floating around in your head. Now's not the time to go charging out and running amok. Now is the time to organize those plans into something that makes sense. Retreat into nature. Ask, other people their advice, and get some wisdom there. Do the contemplation. I love all this nature stuff too. Just contemplating out in nature. Sometimes just sitting out, in your backyard or in a park or somewhere where you can just kind of sit and think, I think is kind of maybe a really good idea for these 2 weeks, to help you know where you want to go next, because we do have a lot of germs of wonderful new ideas starting and coming, and either they haven't totally formed yet, so you don't know what to do with them, or you're not sure how to go about proceeding with them yet, or you're just going to get the new ideas during these 2 weeks. And so now's the time to figure out what to do with those and to contemplate on that, and getting out into nature and taking that time to reflect on these ideas is the way to go about that. We have some charms here. Let's see if we can get some other messages that might be useful. I'm going to mix them up real good here. Okay, what do we have? Well, we have the sun and the moon symbol, which to me, once again, is that nature. It's that balanced energy between the two, because we have the heart and the fiery passions and the emotions, and so you kind of have both of those things going on. We also have the wolf. Once again, that's another symbol to me, to go out into nature and get some perspective. We have the words protected and faith. I like that together, because with this energy of you guys having new ideas and new things coming along, sometimes it's hard to keep your faith or to know that everything's going to be okay. And I kind of just see those words as kind of helping you know that just have faith and know that you're protected and that it's going to be okay, that you're going to get the answers that you seek, especially by going out into nature, because we have the butterfly as well, which sometimes is symbols from our spirit guides and other people. We also have the angel heart, so once again, that's kind of going along with the protected thing. So I kind of almost feel like it's your spirit guides kind of coming through and saying, hey, connect with us in nature, we've got your back, we're going to help you get through this, we're going to help you get these ideas into fruition, and do that. And so I kind of think that that's what these are all about. We also have, and I get it up right here, we have an elephant, I think, double check that, pretty sure it's an elephant, and then we have the turtle, and I see those both as, the turtle is slow and steady, because I think that is definitely the energy for the 2 weeks, is everything slow and steady right now. Take your time with the energies, have time to contemplate, take things kind of slow, don't go off too quickly. And then we have the elephant, which elephants live a long time, and they're very knowledgeable, and they're very smart. And once again, I see that as the old wisdom, also as a spiritual guide. Sometimes elephants can be very useful for that. So I kind of just see this as, get out into nature, meditate, ask your spirit guides for help and signs and signals, Get advice from elders and from other people that you know, and that will help you know where to go next with what you're planning and what's going on, and take these wonderful ideas that are starting to germ and formulate and go with them. And then that way you'll be able to do what you want to do. Okay, well, I think that's all I have for pile 2 today. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. Please leave comments in the comments section and hit the like button. All of those things are very, very useful, as we mentioned earlier. Also, if you can check out our other videos on the channel, that would be awesome. We have lots of other pick-a-pile card readings on various topics, and most of them are timeless. We have videos on how to read tarot cards, and we also have videos on other spiritual topics that might interest you, as well as some flip-throughs of the different card decks so you can see what they look like. So we'll see you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the nice round swirl shell here. And remember, this is on the next 2 weeks and what the different energies might be, or what you might look forward to in the next 2 weeks, what might be coming along. So let's take a look here and see what our cards are. We have the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the Page of Wands, the 4 of Cups, the 3 of Wands. Wow, there's been lots of Wands energy in today's readings for some reason. Okay, we have the 4 of Cups, again, the Hermit, the Queen of Swords, the 9 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, and Sweetheart. Okay, wow. Whew. Okay. Well, we have 2 4s of Cups, and we also have the 8 of Cups here. And along with the Sweetheart card, I kind of see that either recently or coming up right here at the beginning of the 2 weeks, you guys have dealt with some sort of loss of a loved one, or a change in circumstances with a loved one, your partner in some way, shape, or form. Because we just have these cards that kind of just show this loss or this distress over emotional type of relationships. Okay, so and plus this 4 of Cups, it's such a beautiful card, but it's almost showing she always reminds me of kind of an angel. She's up in this beautiful lily up from the water, and she's looking out over these cups. It's such a gorgeous card. But so I see a loss in that you guys have had some sort of distressing thing with a relationship with somebody that means something to you. And I kind of see that here with these 10 cards as well, because we have the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, and both of those are completion energies. And it's interesting how the 10 of Swords, they pierce through the back, almost like being stabbed in the back, like a whole bunch of times. And in this case, you know, it feels like that, even if it wasn't a betrayal or deception or any of that kind of energy. It might just feel like you've just been, you know, like the whole world is, you know, stabbing at you and crushing you down to the rocks, because that's kind of the imagery in this particular 10 of Swords card. You see how she's kneeling and all these swords are coming at her almost from the heavens, it looks like. And so I feel like some of you guys are just feeling like this is almost like the heavens are just raining things down upon you and stabbing you in the back. Basically, they're putting this big burden on you, and I kind of feel like you guys feel very burdened right now. You feel very emotionally distressed. We have the Nine of Swords card here, which is another distress, feeling distressed and like you just want to scream and run away and get away with things. We've got the Hermit card. We've got the Three of Wands. Those are all contemplative type of cards and going off. And I feel like you guys are just feeling like that. You're like, you just want to run away from the situation. You feel like you've been put upon and like, things are just crushing down on you. The Ten of Wands sometimes will show a completion of a work or a journey, but it also shows burdens that, he has a lot to carry on his back and get back with. There's a lot to do here, and I just feel like you guys feel very burdened right now, and you feel like you have a lot to carry on, and you do want to retreat and just run away from the whole situation. If it doesn't have to do with your significant other or sweetheart, because there might be a few of you that this might have to do with just your life in general, that there's just stuff going on with your life that you're just feel the weight of the world on you. If that's the case, then this Four of Cups cards might have a little bit more meaning in that you're being offered more than what you're seeing. Okay? So if you're not, the offering is there. Okay? It's available to you. You can get it. So if you're not in this runaway retreat mode, if you're just, especially because of a sweetheart, just know that there are opportunities out there for you, that you're feeling very, very burdened right now, and that you just feel like, things are just crushing down on you and you're just getting pierced all over the place. That's kind of the feeling that you're going through. And I kind of feel like it's been going on for a little while. It's not just this 2 weeks, okay? That's something you've been going through for a while now. And that's where you've been kind of wanting to retreat. But we do have the Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords. And what's great about the pages is they have a lot more youthful energy to them. And so I really like that. And the Wands ones are full of adventure, excitement, new ideas, and that kind of thing. So I do feel like you guys have the potential to have some new ideas come to you, or some youthful type of, I almost see this as an actual youth. Somebody can come into your life or is in your life that will help you through this right now. I feel like you're going to have somebody that, they have lots of new ideas and they're very cheerful and they're an extrovert, and I almost kind of see this young teenager or young preteen kind of person coming up to you and just chattering at you and helping you feel better and helping you deal with some of this stuff that's been kind of going on. I feel like, that's where you're at, because you're almost in the Queen of Swords energy, which she's very strong. She's has great perspective and stuff, and the queens are very, they're at the higher point of their suit, so they know quite a bit. But right now I see this particular queen as representing kind of you guys kind of being kind of grumpy and kind of off in your own, leave me alone kid kind of attitude, okay? But I do feel like this particular person is going to help you. So when that person comes along in these 2 weeks, or if they've kind of been hanging around, let them into your life. Let them do that. They're going to help alleviate this pain. They're going to help alleviate what's been going on in your head. Yes, being a hermit can be good. The Three of Wands, being contemplative, thinking about things, kind of working through some of these issues and these problems in your life is great and needed. But you also need to connect back with the world again a little bit, if that makes any sense to you guys. I'm really hoping that this reading makes sense, because I feel like I'm only half hitting what's totally out there. But basically, I think you guys have been hit so hard lately and have had so much going on that all you've wanted to do is run away and retreat, and that was okay and it's good, and you're going to be doing a lot of that even during this 2 weeks. That's still kind of a theme, but the message behind that, though, is that there is some more youthful energy, somebody who has that kind of youthful energy who can help you get through this. And by doing that, that'll help you in this, with what's happening right now and what's going on. Let's pull some charms. Maybe we can get a few more ideas, a few more things here that might help you. Okay. Oh, wow. We got, oh, I didn't even know I had 2 of those in there. We have Miracle twice, which is great. We also have Love and Enough. Wow. Okay. We also have the Maid with Love. We have the Owl. We have the Skull and Crossbones. We have the Moon. We have the Rocking Horse. We have a K. We have kind of the gloved hands here, and a rock star, not rock, a rock star guitar type deal. Okay. Wow, these messages kind of go along with everything we've been talking about here. First of all, the enough. The enough, to me, in this case, kind of goes along with, it's enough of going off into the world and going along with all of that. There's that, but it's also enough love. Like, there's always enough love out there in the world that we can always have. So if you've lost your love, or somebody that you really care about is not in your life anymore, just know that there are other types of love, and there is other love, and we can love more than one person, and that because of that, just know that it's out there, okay? And then I love how Miracle comes up twice here, because I really think that you guys really need a miracle in your life right now. And I think that this page is kind of that miracle that you're looking for. I think when they come along in your life, you're going to see some things a little differently, and you're going to see things as a miracle. So I kind of really like that. We also, once again, have the youthful energy here of the Rocking Horse, and also the Maid with Love. One of the readings we had recently had to do specifically with somebody who had lost a child, or had a miscarriage recently. And this might be for those people as well, because I think of the miracle and these kind of going together, because I think of a child as being a miracle. And, you know, I hear things like My Little Miracle kind of come into my head. And if that is the loss that you are dealing with, if that is what's going on, first of all, I'm terribly sorry that is the case for those of you that might be the case for. I know what it's like to go through that, and just know things will get better. They don't ever go back to the same, but they do get better. And they will improve, okay? And just know that. I don't have another message for that specifically right now. I just wanted to say that specifically. Okay, we also have the Owl and the Moon, which is very much, once again, emotions. I think you're going to be dealing a lot with your emotions in these 2 weeks, as has been evidenced by the other cards that we were going on for sure, too. So those are all things that, you know, you're going to have to deal with. But we also have the Owl, which is wisdom, and I do think that you will gain some wisdom and perspective over these next 2 weeks. And I see that in the youthful energy that's coming along. Believe it or not, the youthful energy is going to bring wisdom to you, and you're going to gain some wisdom here. We have the little gloved hands, which I kind of see that as kind of weird. You guys are going to probably think this is odd, but when I think of getting gloves on, like these old-fashioned, like if you're, old-fashioned, going out to like a cocktail party or some other time where women wear gloves all the time, I see that as kind of going back to a prior era, or there was another, in one of the other readings, we talked about dressing up and getting to feel better and kind of getting off the couch and taking a shower, doing your hair up, put on something, nice clothes. Well, this is similar to that kind of energy, but it's also slightly different because I see it as almost like putting on a costume. Like, when we don't feel a certain way, sometimes if we just kind of put on a brave face or smile or do other things, eventually we start feeling that way. But at first, we just feel like we're putting on a costume for the world to see, because what we're projecting outwards is not what we're really feeling inwards. And I feel like that might be something that you guys are going through or have been going through. I do think that will come to an end, but maybe not by the end of the 2 weeks. But I will think that eventually you're going to be able to get out of that mode. But that just might be something that you're doing. And we do have the skull and crossbones, which I kind of see as that, get away from me, kid kind of attitude once again. Leave me alone. But that's not a good energy. And so if you have that energy, it's a good idea to maybe get out of that. And because then we also have this rock guitar here. And I kind of see this as kind of the rock band game thing, that, kids love to play games and stuff. And so I see that as that youthful energy of, music and excitement and, rock stars, yay, they get out there and they cheer and they do all these things. If you're not familiar with the game Rock Band, it's a very fun game, but it does take a lot of energy and some other stuff to do, and it's something that old people can enjoy and young people and everybody can enjoy, but it kind of brings you back into this youthful energy again a little bit. But I kind of brought to me, it just brings in the symbolism of this page that's going to come along and help you out with things, okay? So be on the lookout for that, because if that exists, if this person exists out there for you, I want you to listen to them, let them help you heal, because that's important. Okay, so that's just something I really want you guys to do these 2 weeks, because I know that you've been dealing with a lot, and I know you're still kind of in that mode and all that, but I do see a light at the end of the tunnel. It will come. Just persevere, okay? Keep going forward. Let that youthful person come into your life and help you out, because you're going to need that. That's the person you're going to need. And it could even be, since we were talking about rock band, it could even be somebody that you don't know personally. It might be somebody that you go out on YouTube and find and just makes you feel better just by watching them. Okay? So for some of you, since you are obviously YouTubers and watch YouTube, that may be how this person comes into your life, and I think you should go out and find that person. It might come up in your feed through YouTube. Hopefully YouTube will make it easier for you when that happens. But yeah, I think some of you guys, that might be how that happens for you. So just, let you guys know that. Please let me know if there's anything else we can do in readings that will help you out. Leave comments in the comment section. Those are all very, very useful. And hopefully we help you out some too when we're here. We really try to do that. Don't forget to hit a thumbs up and share this video with your friends and family. Also, check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of different pick-a-pile readings that might have some important messages for you out there. We have videos on how to learn to read tarot cards, as well as some flip-throughs of the different decks to show what they look like. So check out those when you get a chance, and we will see you in future readings. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the nice angular spiral shell here. Okay, and remember, this is on the next 2 weeks, what the general energies are and what you might expect and what's happening over the next couple weeks. So let's see what we've got here. We got the Queen of Pentacles, the Moon card, the Three of Swords, the Hierophant, the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Marriage card. Okay. Whew. All right. Let me kind of get an idea here. We got a lot of different things going on here. Okay. We have lots of different energies going on in these 2 weeks. I feel like there's going to be ups and downs, or just some kind of different things going on in your head here. We've got the Moon card, which is a very emotional card, and I do think you're going to be dealing with your emotions some. We do have the Three of Swords, which a lot of times shows some sort of heartache or something that's really rough, dealing with your emotions and with your heart. A lot of times that's the case. We also have the Ten of Swords, which is quite often a in this particular case, it's showing at a gravesite, but the Ten of Swords usually is depicted by, somebody laying face down with 10 swords sticking out of their back, so they're obviously dead. Tens are completion cards. They are the ending of something. And then it's interesting that we had the Marriage card here, because some of you guys might actually be dealing with the end of your marriage over the next 2 weeks. I almost see that with the Hierophant here too, because I almost see it as he's, a lot of times people get married in churches, and they go to their ministers, priests, other people like that for advice. And so maybe you're not dealing with the actual ending of your marriage, but maybe you're having some marriage troubles, and maybe you're needing to go for advice on your marriage, and that might be something that you're dealing with, because you are going to be dealing with some emotional things over the next 2 weeks. You have been. Some finances might be an issue here as well, which, if you're having some marital issues or some problems in marital issues, a lot of times finances has a lot to do with that. There's the hoarding energy of the Four here, which a lot of times will show that you feel like there's a lack or not enough. But then we also have the Eight, though. The Eight shows lots of hard work and actually, getting things back out of your work. So maybe some of you guys feel like you've put a lot of work into this and that you should get something back out of it, and that you're not getting enough. See, I keep getting this whole marriage ending thing. So maybe a divorce is going to become final, and maybe you didn't get as much money in it as you felt like you deserved with all the work that you had put into it. Is kind of maybe what I'm thinking of here. Wow. There is definitely some emotional ending and some emotional dealings with something going on. And it's kind of weird too, because I almost see like some of you guys, because of this ending, you're going to feel free, because we have the Seven of Cups here, and I almost get this whole, wow, yay, I'm free now kind of attitude, this, youthful energy with, the cups and flying in the air with the butterflies and rainbows, and I can have whatever I want now kind of energy going on. So maybe, this is a good thing if there's a divorce that's going to become final. because then maybe you'll feel free and carefree, and that you can go about doing whatever you want to do now, which is cool. I mean, sometimes divorces are, or split ups or breakups, or what we need, because if we don't have those things, we can't move forward with life. We can't, sometimes we get tied down with whatever we're with. So if that's the energy that you guys are in, if that's what's going on, then no, we've got some other cool things going on here, because we also have the Queen of Pentacles, which she is, the provider. She's very practical. So once again, we're back to the Pentacles again of getting things. And I think, it almost goes along with the 7 energy here of, you're going to feel back in charge of things again. You're going to feel back in charge of your own destiny, your own finances, everything else again with this. Then we have the 9 of Wands, which is getting towards a completion as well. And the Wands deals a lot with things that we're very passionate about and what we care about. And so I think it just kind of goes along with, the completion energies of these other cards here. So here's the thing, okay? For those of you who pick this pile who are not in a relationship or marriage that's ending, okay, because there's bound to be some of you that's the case, then there needs to be some messages here for you guys as well, because you wouldn't have picked the pile without messages. But it's interesting how several of the cards that are showing up here, like the 10 of Swords and the Hierophant and the 4 of Pentacles, show up in other piles as well. So I just want to pop up that if there was another pile and you were having trouble deciding between 2 piles, and this is not resonating with you at the moment, I would switch over and watch the other pile, because it's very possible that you were drawn to this because there were certain cards in it that were in another pile, and you, if you watch the other one, you might get more messages, especially if this one's not resonating with you, because I feel like that's going to happen for quite a few of you guys, because this message was very specific about, an ending of a relationship or a marriage or a partnership of some sort, and then, how you feel after that. And I really don't feel like there's other messages in this pile so much as that is the energy of the 2 weeks. And it could be a marriage, a partnership, a relationship of some sort. It doesn't have to be an actual marriage, because marriages are also partnerships as well. But it is that kind of energy. So if that is not resonating with you and you had your eye on another pile, I would seek out another pile, because this pile is probably not for you if this is not resonating with you at all, if this makes no sense to you, okay? We're going to pull out a few charms here and see if there's any other messages. Get them stirred up really good. I got some more charms coming in soon. I'm looking forward to having a few extra charms in here. Not that we ever pull out all of them that are ever in here, but oh, one more. Live in the moment, protected, and enough. Okay, boy, enough popped up more than once today. Okay, I think enough just means, things are done, ended, finished. We see that with the other cards for sure. So that's not a problem here. Protected, that showed up in another reading as well. I think it just means that you're protected through this. Your emotions and all, your spirit guides, your other people that are out there, they're with you on this, and they're helping to protect you. I love the live in the moment kind of thing. That's kind of the 7 of Cups energy going on, of just going out and being carefree and going, woo, yay. Because I really feel like you guys are going to feel a lot of freedom from whatever's going on, and I want you guys to enjoy it to the fullest, okay? And living in the moment, I think, will help you do that. We have an NTD, which could be initials, could stand for something else. They might mean something to you specifically. If they do, great. Sometimes you guys tell me that they're initials of you guys. Sometimes, you guys come up with some things. So that can be useful. We have the Four of Cups again. That was in another reading as well. We have the Three of Wands. Threes are creative energies, and so are Wands cards. So there might be a little bit of creativity coming to you during all this. It might be during the carefree time period that you have. We also have the little fox here, which might go along with that as well, because foxes are, I always think of crazy like a fox, or not sneaky in a bad way, but sneaky in the way that they know how to do things, okay? They know how to get to where they're going without being noticed and without, getting caught. And, they're very smart. And so I kind of feel like that's where you guys can go, or that's where you guys are possibly at in here. And we also have the Lucky Horseshoe, which, hey, this could be a lucky time for you guys. Maybe that carefree moment, maybe you'll go out and buy a lottery ticket. Don't go out and mortgage your house and buy a lottery tickets with that. I'm not recommending that at all, but maybe you pop in one moment and you have the urge to buy a lottery ticket and pay $1. Okay, I would do that if I was you, because it might be a lucky time for you, or other luck matters just might come up. Things that you might consider lucky just might show up this week, or in these couple of weeks, and you go, okay, wow, neat. I didn't expect that. That was, pretty lucky. So I could see that happening for you guys. So there we go. All right. Well, this is going to be interesting. I would really love to hear in the comments if this resonated with any of you guys, because these messages seemed rather specific, and that's not usually the way you would want these readings to go, since so many people might watch them. But okay, I have to go with what I have to go with. So there we go. So I would love to hear in the comments from you guys. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Please share with your friends and family. Check out our other videos. We have lots of other videos on the channel. A lot of them are timeless tarot readings on lots of different topics that might interest you. We also have videos on how to read tarot and different flip through or different card decks, as well as videos on a few other spiritual topics that might interest you. So if you could check those out, that would be great. And we'll see you in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.